Welcome to Speak Life, Danny's Decree of Hope podcast, where we bring encouragement for every season of your journey. I'm your host, Danny, and today we're kicking off a brand new 3-week series called Hope in Hard Places. Now, if you ever felt overwhelmed, exhausted, or like you have to be the strong one all the time, this episode is for you. We're going to talk about what it means to carry heavy burdens, why acknowledging our emotions matter, and how God meets us right in the middle of it all. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let's speak life together. Now, many of us, whether as caregivers, healthcare workers, or simply as people navigating life's hardest moments, we carry an unspoken burden. It's easy to feel like you have to be the strong one all the time, as if showing weakness means you're failing. But even the strongest people get tired. Trust me, I know this firsthand. I've always been the kind of person who wants others to believe I have it all together. Bad news? Hey, I can handle it. Sickness? I'm okay. No matter what's going on around me, I feel like I need to be the rock. And in my line of work, as a hospice chaplain, I'm around death every single day. I walk with people through some of the hardest moments of their lives. I sit with families as they say their goodbyes, listen to their grief. I do my best to be a source of comfort and strength. But here's the truth. Sometimes it gets to be too much. Now, no one ever told me that men don't cry or that I shouldn't show my emotions. So I really don't know why I am the way I am. But for some reason, I've always felt this pressure to be the strong one for others, to be the one who keeps it all together. And yet, I've had my nights when I've gotten out of bed, walked in another room, and cried like a baby over my dad who is dying of cancer. I've had countless moments alone in my car gripping the steering wheel as the weight of it all just hit me. I've broken down in the shower, letting the water just wash over me as the tears flowed. And even though I don't let others see it, God does. And here's what I've learned. God has never asked us to carry the weight alone. He sees what we try to hide, and He meets us there. Every tear I've cried in secret, every burden I've tried to shoulder myself, He has seen. And every time, He has given me the strength to keep going, to keep showing up, and to keep being there for others. Now, for a long time, I thought being strong meant pushing my emotions down. I thought if I let myself feel too much, I might break. And if I broke, I wouldn't be able to be any help to others. But I've come to understand something important. Acknowledging your emotions doesn't mean you lack faith. It means you are human. Jesus Himself even wept. When His friend Lazarus died, He didn't pretend it didn't hurt. Even though He knew He was about to raise him from the dead, He still allowed Himself to grieve, to feel, to acknowledge the pain. In John 11:35, shortest verse of the Bible, Jesus wept. So why do we think we have to hold it all in? Choosing hope doesn't mean ignoring the pain. It means recognizing that even in the middle of it, God is still present. Hope says, this hurts, but I'm not alone. Hope says, I feel weak, but God is my strength. Hope says, I don't see the way forward, but I trust that God does. So if you're in a season where the weight feels unbearable, give yourself permission to feel. Cry if you need to. Be honest with God about your struggle. But don't stop there. Let Him meet you in that place and remind you that your hope is still alive. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you feel like you have to be the strong one, the rock, the person who keeps it all together. But Jesus never called us to be unshakable. He called us to come to Him when we are weary. It's okay to admit that you're tired. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel the weight of what you're walking through. But you don't have to carry it alone. As you go through this week, I encourage you to take a moment to lay your burdens before God. Maybe that means praying, journaling, or simply saying, Lord, I can't handle this alone. I need you, because the truth is, hope isn't pretending everything is fine. Hope is trusting that even in the heaviness, you are not alone. So I want to thank you for spending these moments with me today. And if this episode encouraged you, I'd like for you to do 3 things. Subscribe to this podcast, give it a follow, and share it on your social media. You never know who in your circle needs to hear this message of hope today. Also, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Has this message ministered to you? Have you faced a struggle in the past where God carried you through? Your story could encourage someone else who needs to know that they're not alone. Remember, no matter how heavy life gets, you don't have to carry it alone. God sees you, He loves you, and He is your strength. So until next time, keep speaking life, because your words have the power to bring hope.